Aha, tá sé bhain sin, chunastánsibh, tá fáilte roibisteach. Is mi sé é ó Choileáin, agus bím ag múna na cuasaí Cumarsaide anseo an Oscail na hÉireann Gaillimh. My name is A, and I teach on the communications courses here at NUI Galway. We have a denominated degree, GY 122, or you can also take Cumarsaide Communications as a subject in GY 101, Joint Honours BA. Ach é sin fad bail, dúis cúpla focail fuam héin, hosna mé héin imon cuasaí creaaltóireachta I bhád siar, néidiúd nócha, nuair fuair post mar iriseoir le radio chiaí a bhí díreach tosnathe, hí sa drálí agus chas seala gobar mar iriseoir agus mar léthóir nuachta an stáisiún nua áitiúil. An sin in an nócha sé fuair mé post mar agrathóir nuachta le TG Cahar a bhí díreach tosnathe creaile Ihe Hauna, Halloween night, 1996. That's 25 years ago now. I also make films and I also make television programs, and I have broadcast material on RTE and on TG Cahar. My latest film, Comer, A Galway Rhapsody, screened on TG Cahar last September and won an international award in a film festival in London in 2019. It also screened in Australia, on the continent, and in America. Ach, anish, na cuasaí atá acuin. Rhaine mé an scáil an libh tá roinn sleán an agam, especially níos fosa ó raibh an rud leanúint beidir. Sin é. So, tá an chéim BA có an nóracha GY a héan an áide héan fáildíomh, nó tá an céim animnithe Cumarsaide agus Gaeilge sé sin GA a héan a dó. Tá ceithre bliana I gceist leis an géim GA héan a dó. Agus sa chéad bhliain duine tú na hábhar seo a leanas, scéalaíocht dhídeach. Conas scéal a insint don scáilán le cabhar talamh digitach go bunúsach. Much can be done these days on the mobile phone, mobile journalism, mojo as it's known as. Indeed, there was a film made entirely on mobile phones which won an Oscar a number of years ago. It was called Tangerine. It was a short film. So the quality is improving all the time, the quality of cameras. The editing that can be carried out on a mobile phone is quite sophisticated now, and the sound can be doctored and treated afterwards and improved. So scéalaíocht dhídeach is an important part of communications in san lá atá inniu bhán. And you all have mobile phones and you all use them to some degree, but throughout this course we will be teaching you new ways of using the mobile phone and knocking more value out of your mobile phone. Mar hampla, tá iriseoirí de chuid RTE a chur an PC fuaime a rás go dtí an stáisiún le creaile an radio. So duine siad tafad an bhón póca, agus duine siad agrathóireacht agus an sin cuireann siad an pís a rás le creaile na feasacháin nuachta, or the news bulletins on the hour on Radio 1 or on Radio na Gaeltachta, or on the stations around the country, the local stations as well. So scéalaíocht dhídeach is an important foundation stone for this degree, GY héan a dó. Then, coming from Leaving Cert, sometimes it's necessary to take a new look at the world around you and to look at the world in a critical way, to apply some critical thinking to issues, and also to be able to present yourself, like I'm trying to do here now at the moment, sitting in my attic at home, recording this, so you can view it as part of the virtual open day that NUIG is hosting. So tá machnamh critiúil agus láiditheoireacht táchtach. Láiditheoireacht aims at bringing you out of yourself and giving you the confidence to present in front of the camera in Gaeilge. So tá an Gaeilge táchtach sa chósa seo, tá cruinnis na Gaeilge táchtach agus tugtar rangan that I grín scríomh na Gaeilge agus rangan na eile a bhainean le fios na Gaeilge a áardú. Mar chuinnig má ein tú job ins na man Gaeilge, bíonn siad asúil go mbeidh caighdeán réasúnta Gaeilge a gut. An tríú ábhar an sin sa chéad bliain is bunús na hiiriseoireachta. So the basic principles of journalism, how to be fair, how to be unbiased, how to achieve balance, how to cover various sides of the story in an equitable fashion so as to give a truthful picture of the report you're trying to give to the audience. Important for the rest of the degree, as there are some other modules in journalism coming up throughout the degree. Na man agus an tochi. Na man agus an tochi is media and society. And as we know, especially since 2020 and the American presidency and the election for the American presidency, the impact of social media on the campaign leading up to the November election last year, and how one Donald Trump used Twitter to very much his own advantage, and how he, in the end of the day, broadcast stuff or dispersed material over Twitter, which was not necessarily the whole truth and nothing but the truth, to put it mildly. So the impact of media on society is something that is evolving all the time, and it is a very important area of study in any course in communications and journalism. Arisht ilahar na huda nu in some law ta in Nuvan. So shiniad na haver a bhainean leis a Cumarsaide agus an sin tá ábhar a bhainean leis an Gaeilge chomá nos cuasaí gramadaí a cumá lei sin tá module a bhainean le litríocht nuaimseir na Gaeilge agus litríocht starúil na Gaeilge chomá céanna. Mar tar éis duit an chéim GA héana dó a bhaint amach bíonn tú in nachfuin máisteacht sanna dachas dhéanamh agus Gaeilge a bhúne go dtí levéal na háirteiste mar hampla, nó go dtí levéal an testas hóisirig, ach Gaeilge a bhúne in san darna levéal tá sé sin ar fáil leat. So sinniad na module a bhainean leis an géad bhliain. Im mbliain a dó an sin don céim GA a hen a dó, déannig tú dara físe, video design, déannig tú technolíocht in na man, so fécha tú ar an technolíocht a úsáitir go cuitianta ins na man Cumarsaide, agus chomáile sin déannig tú analís ar na man, a ríist ar ról na man, agus ar chléichlú nó ar how the media are all the time, how the media is all the time evolving and transforming itself within society. And this is often driven by technological advances. So it is necessary to analyze how the media operates in light of new possibilities offered by technology. You will also do a module on creailtóireacht, broadcasting, which gives you an opportunity to do some hands-on work, especially in radio. And for the last number of years, this particular course at NUI Galway, our students have been awarded Student Media Awards for Best Irish Language Journalism in radio, for example. We got the award last year in 2020, and again the year before in 2019. So there's a good track record in winning awards for various aspects of media at the Student Media Awards, which are held annually. Obviously online last year, but there's usually a night where students go to Dublin and the awards are announced on the night. There's a short list of 3 or 4, and then the winning person or the winning team are called to the stage and awarded on the night. Also in second year, you will do an gné alt. An gné alt is feature writing, basically. How to write. The emphasis on this course is on the electronic media, the digital media, the radio, television, but also, you know, the spoken word and the written word are very important in modern communications, because it is the basis for script writing, for what I'm doing here now, presenting to camera. So you really need to get some practice at writing, and on Gné Alt offers you that opportunity. There are various publications on the campus in NUI Galway, and you can offer your material for publication in student newspapers such as SIN, or the English language journalism course has a newspaper known as Galway Pulse, and that is being prepared right as we speak. And some of my students are at the moment polishing up some of their feature writing, so as to offer it to the editor of Galway Pulse for publication very shortly. On module Derna chohéh na Cumarsaide sa darna blian is dlí etici agus an chorus publi, and I actually teach this module myself. And as a young journalist, as I said in 1990, one of my shortcomings was lack of information and lack of knowledge on law, ethics, and the public system, the public institutions in Ireland, the Dáil, the Seanad, the County Council, the Comptroller and Auditor General, all the non-governmental organisations, etc., etc. General information on all these I felt I was lacking in, so I returned to college and did a BA in law and in politics, and pursued the law, and took solicitor's exams, and took a master's degree in public law. So, you know, this is a very good background and very good foundation for me in teaching practically what you need to know out there, making programs, doing journalism from day to day. Dlí etici agus an chorus publi sin blian a dó. Okay, so blian a tríanish done came BA GA hen a dó Cumarsaide agus Gaeilge. Blian a trí chahan tú semester sa Gaeltacht I campus na hoscoile an Gearra Rua a Connemara. Acadh na hoscoileocht a Gaeilge tá campus beag acu an Gearra Rua I gart lár Gaeltacht Connemara. Agus cahan tú an héad semester an sin, dinan tú roint module nos tiúnscodal Gaeltachta, agus tá module eile scríomh na Gaeilge, agus suíocht agus éireacht na Gaeilge comach céanna. Fanan tú I Gearra Rua, fain tú lóistín, agus is deis I seo de chuid Gaeilge a gheabhsú I dtimpeallacht ina bhfuil an Gaeilge all out go léithúil. For my own part, I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I find my Spanish improves when I go to Spain, and when I get an opportunity to use the Spanish I have with Spaniards in their own environment, in their own setting, whereas it's much more difficult to actually speak Spanish here, because you only meet people every now and then. You might meet people in college that are either learning Spanish or they're Spanish nationals who are here studying. Ach níl aon rud níos fearr ná a bheith in san láit na bhfuil an tana labhairt. So an tana á labhairt agus dá réir is blian an a háchtach I an bblion seo blian na trí don KMGA a héanana dó campus na hoscoile an Gearra Rua chunta na Gaillimhe. And then in the second semester, you go on a work placement, Socrachan Ibre, or a work placement. And this is usually done in RTE, in TG Cahar, RTE Radio na Gaeltachta, Stáisiún Radio Átula nos Radio Chiri and Láitin Mehain, Radio Kerry, or Red FM, or Clare FM, or Galway Bay FM, count on the Stáisiún tá fáil fud na tíre. Cumála sin is féidir dul I gobbar de cholacht léirúcháin navsplach a near TV, Tua Films, based in just outside Galway City in Furbo, na Furbacha, Gunamara. Is féidir dul go the Rust na Rún an cólach de gin on Subelgrama, the TG Car, is féidir dul gaundas na Ranóga an sin, agus an semester 3V sa semester a chahabh an sin. So blian na 3 semester sa Gaeltacht, cháhacht an diag sa Gaeltacht, agus cháhacht an diag Hochrucháin Ibre. Sin mar atá imléan a 3. Imléan a 4 an sin tagan tú aráis isteach campus na hoscoile gahar na Gaillimhe agus duine tú de bhliain dhearnach don chósa. Agus seohiad na module atá gist locht fiochanna na man. So media and audiences. So who's out there? This is an area that's radically changing now because we use media differently these days. We access media differently. For example, in this house here downstairs, there are 2 young boys, my 2 sons. They barely use the television at all, but they seem to be welded to the mobile phone and using it all the time and looking up stuff in YouTube and Snapchat and so on and so forth. So this is a big dúchláin, or a big challenge. Dunaman Cumarsaide. And as you may know, there is a commission on the future of media in Ireland sitting at the moment, and this commission is charged with advising the government on the best way to fund public media in Ireland going forward. A very challenging question because advertising has changed, the way people view, as I said, has changed, and so it's not just based on television sets anymore and a license fee. They're talking about bringing in a household charge so that every house pays their way, really, whether they use the media or not, because it's difficult to know which house uses and which house doesn't. So it's just like water. If you have a house, you must pay the charge for using media. Dar no, tá ceistin an nuair a fós in éireann faoin leathanbhaunda, Wi-Fi, the distribution of broadband throughout the country, especially in rural areas and in the west of the country, that it can be difficult, and you can find areas that are black spots and do not afford use of broadband, which is very difficult then to use the phone or to use email or anything else. During the course, during media technology, you will hear about stuff like FTP being File Transfer Protocol, which allows journalists to transfer material from their laptops through broadband back to the to the station, to the headquarters, so that piece of video, a short piece of video, can be file transferred and it can be broadcast on the other side. So really, satellites are a thing of the past to a broad degree, and the computer now, the laptop, allows journalists to do much more than they were able to heretofore. So that's why the whole area of audiences are also changing. So tá dúchlan na man sóisialta go maithe, right? Dúchlan na man sóisialta. The challenge of social media and how it has changed the media landscape and how it influences politics, economics, and social aspects of society are molded now very much by social media and by influencers who are not employed in public media. They're broadcasting for their own benefit, for their own good on social media, such as people influencing on Twitter, for example, or influencing on Facebook to a lesser degree, and on TikTok, making short videos and using this as a way of propagating their messages and getting their story out there, right? So, Cumála sin tá script scríomh again sa ceathrú bliain, script writing, and this affords you an opportunity to do some creative writing, to come up with ideas for short films, and to learn the structure of writing a script for the screen. Interesting. Some students take to it very well, others don't, but it's a module that's there, and like the other modules, you've got to take them. Students prefer some more than others. An sin chomá tá irisóireacht aimimech, applied journalism. So it's applying your skills over the past 3 years, the previous 3 years, and using them to achieve something using applied journalism to tell a story, through applying your skills to the story, either digitally or visually or orally with sound, or even by writing it. Believe it or not, the newspapers are still read. They might be in decline, but they're still read. They may not be bought from the newsstands in our shops as often as they were. Ach, tá daoine ag úsáid pápéir fiúháin, canan siad na daoine níos sinne, canan siad an pápéir agus léann siad an pápéir, ach tá formhór na daoine inis ag úsáid na meán hóisiilte nó ag úsáid an idirlín chun tacht ar na nuachtáin. Right? Rochtan tríd an idirlín agus níl an bhéim céanna ar fápéir agus ar dúch a heile. So it's an interesting time to be getting involved in Cumarsaide agus Cumarsaide na Gaeilge, because tá na meán Gaeilge ag ahrú agus tá athraithe eile le tacht I bhíonise an chomisisiún háchaí na meán a bheith ag corcóirle ar an rialtas sa bhór sa chuain. Ní bheanfór mí dhearfór sa chuain. Gael agar na meán, the media economics, the economics of the media. So filmmaking, for example, is an expensive business, as I know, as I've tried it out. And you need to find new markets for your products. You need to be able to sell to wider audiences, to get into Europe, to get into America, to go to film festivals, to make material that will resonate with other communities beyond our shores, because at the end of the day, this is a small country with a relatively small population. Agus chomh maith sin, déanann tú tiúnscoil deireadh chéime, which is a final year project, and you are assigned help from within the department, and it's a one-to-one process, and you are advised and encouraged and helped along the way in creating a tiúnscoil deireadh chéime, which is also a calling card, if you like, that you can show to an employer next year. Tréis bliana ceathair na bheith de chéim buinte maithagad má tá tú ag glórú fostíochta. So leabhar mé ag tús féin dá rá fálamthe atá againn, tá chuirsí stianta gom ar ceann amháin a chosúdanis sé sin an céim BA GA hen dó Cumarsaide agus Gaeilge. Is féidir léann na Cumarsaide mar ábhar a dhéanamh comá céanna ábhar có an nóracha ar GY héan a náid a héan. Gus go bunúsach an rud a tharlaíonn an sin ná raníonn tú trí ábhar sa chéad bhliain, léann na Cumarsaide, Gaeilge b'éidir, nó béarla, nó Fraincis, nó mathematic, agus ábhar ag deile, seandálaíocht, Spáinis, agus an sin sa dár na bliain, fágann tú ceantas na hábhar agus leanann tú raig le dhá ábhar chó an nóracha, joint honours subjects. Léann na Cumarsaide plus ábhar eile. That subject could be any of a range of subjects, and then you get your BA after 3 years in léann na Cumarsaide and the other subject, the second subject that you chose. So you have two choices if you want to study media through the medium of Irish at NUI Galway. And they're the two choices there on the screen at the moment. Also, if you feel after first year that you like Léann na Cumarsaide a lot, well, then you could switch to the denominated degree GY Héana though if your results are good enough. There is not a difficulty in changing into the denominated degree if you so wish, and that would give you a 4-year option, the option of taking the third year, which I described to you as a period in the Gaeltacht, semester a hen, and then a work placement in RTE or TG Car or Rusnaroon or one of the production companies for the second semester. Okay. After you have completed your degree, either the 4-year denominated degree, Cumarsaide agus Gaeilge, or the 3-year degree in Léann Cumarsaide Móide Ábhar an Tile. You could opt to take our new MA, which started 2 years ago. It's Clachtas Garimúls na Man. It's a professional practice course in media, and we have a unique partnership with RTE, in as much as you spend a month in the first semester in Connemara with RTE Radio na Gaeltachta, and with Nuach TG Car, all under the auspices of RTE and based in Connemara. Nuach TG Car is owned by RTE, and they supply the news service to TG Car each evening at 7 p.m. And they also produce a weekly program called Shacht Law, which goes out on a Tuesday evening at 7:30. So you could get involved in those areas with Radio na Gaeltachta in Costla, in Connemara, Nula, TG Car. And then in the second semester, at the end of the second semester, you go to Dublin and you spend a month on the main RTE campus in Donnybrook in Dublin with different Irish language departments and different programs there. So you get 8 full weeks, and then you spend the summer doing a minor thesis. And after 1 full year from, we'll say, from the 1st of September this year to the 1st of September next year, or at the end of August next year, you get a master's degree in Cumarsaide Gaeilge. Anyway, that's down the line. You've got to get your degree first, but I'm just pointing it out as an option to you. There are other various degrees in the university. There's journalism, an MA in journalism. There's MA in film at the Houston School. There's MA in drama and performance available at NUI Galway. So these are other areas that you may be interested in pursuing following your undergraduate degree. And then what do you do once you have finished your degree? GA hen Dodo or Léann Cumarsaide Móide Ábhar or GY hen Náide hen? Well, tá garamacha batha mar seo leannas ar fáidir instant man. Obviously, you can go working in the media. You can go working as a journalist, as a producer, as a researcher with RTE, with TG Car, with the independent sector, which is growing in both in radio and in television. There are more radio programs being made now independently than there were heretofore. So radio is an area. There'll always be radio programs needed for RTE, for Radio na Gaeltachta, for the na stáisiún Luganta fud na tíre. Bítear ag gerán mar hampla nach bhfuil dóthain Gaeilge ar na stáisiún Luganta nó na stáisiún áitiúla, agus braham a gcónaí bhfuil níos an sin do rinne éigent chláracha trí Gaeilge a dhéanamh agus a dhéal nóha. Then níos mó ná stáisiún amháin. Syndicate the program, so the general topics that will fit in Kerry, in Cork, in Waterford, in Tipperary, etc., etc. There's definitely an opening there. Cadre Publi is public relations. Public relations is a very important area in all aspects of our lives now today. Any company needs help in selling themselves and getting their message out there, in making short form video, in using social media, in coming up with campaigns to sell their goods and to ensure that as many people as possible know what their company produces, etc., etc. On top of this, is bonus ma le haid gano ein size cames na man. In any aspect of business, media is very important. Media permeates all aspects of our lives now, really. So a grounding in media gives you a chance to go working in business, to go working in politics. I mean, look at the Tonight program on Virgin Media. Look at Sarah McInerney and Miriam O'Callaghan on Primetime Nightly. The skills they have in interviewing politicians, the skills that the politicians need to be credible and to do the right thing on television, a huge area. And those with a grounding in media tend to do better at dealing with the media. On Tervish Fobli, or the public service, any aspect of the public service is grounded in media skills, in transferable skills that you'll have learned on the BA that you'd have done at NUI Galway, and these are skills that you will use in a whole range of careers: management, Coronachtaí, working with charities and in a paid capacity. Look at all the charities that need to get their message out there, like Trócaire, like Gortha, like the Chernobyl children, like all the modern day charities that are out there looking for money, basically looking for help for communities that are stricken by natural disaster or by poverty or whatever. So tá réimse ábhar an sin gur féidir fosíocht a bhaint amach ionta beidir tar éis de chéim ag nó. So má tá tú a lorg a heile ólais is féidir leat rifost a cheola ag fionn ó sealbhaí ag oigalibh.ie cólachaílam atá mar riarthóir an game BA an game GY a héana dó a dó. So is féidir rifost a chur chuig fionn ó sealbhaí ag oigalibh.ie agus tá an seola sin fáil an réamh-eoláire nó in san prospectus réamh-eoláire nó prospectus, the university's prospectus, the university's undergraduate prospectus, nó an réamh-eoláire for céime. So I'm just going to stop sharing the screen here now. And there I am back again. And bhfuil buchas bhfuil live as éisteachlam agus bhfuil a bearúdíh gur féidir breis ólais aáil thaobh idirlín na hoscoile www.oigalibh/acadamh agus tá nó is féidir just dul isteach agus cuardacha dhéanamh GY héana dó dó agus tuigh an tólas fad níos an sin. Má tá aon cheiste goibh seol rifost mar a deireadh chuig an seola a thug méidíh fionn.ósealbhaí ag oigalibh.ie agus guím gach rá a ribh má tá a déanamh na háteiste im Léanna guím gach rá ort iad a chuid scrúdathe agus más a chuige bliana tá beidir beagán níos mó ama got de intaní an suas nó fiúháin in san idirbhliain. Tá amach lom héin faoi láthair ag dul isteach san idirbhliain agus tá me cráiteige ag ceartú an curriculum vitae mar tá sé á sheola amach I láthair na huaire ag sioppaí agus ag bialanna agus ag coffee shops in the center of Galway City hoping to land a job. He's just turned 16 so he can legally do a little work now every week and he'd like to make some money and he's all agog and it's great to see him agog about it all. So go to míle maithagah agus gach ratharibh agus beidir go bhecinn cuidigh an game BA GY hen a dó Cumarsaide agus Gaeilge amachchan seo nó an gúrsa Léann na Teanga Léann na Cumarsaide mar ábhar. So sin é go míle maithagah agus slán go fóil tránóla maithagah inis.